All right, so y'all, we here with Kahlil. I'm gonna have Kahlil introduce himself real quick so we can get, get right into it. Kahlil, introduce yourself to the people.
All right, y'all. What's up, everybody? My name is Kahlil Robinson. I am the founder and owner of a company called Mouse Creations up here in Syracuse, New York. I'm 25 years old, got involved with my cousin Kahlil and Black Empire in 2024. And it's been a crazy journey since.
You have a background in business, like this something brand new for you. Have you been a business owner? Was you an employee? Like, give me the background of that.
Okay, so entrepreneurship is not new to me. My uncle Chris actually laid the foundation, I would say. He just laid the foundation, because I always wondered, how he was able to have nice cars, go on trips and stuff, and not have a regular 9 to 5 like my mom did and stuff. Say, before I went to college in 2018, he sat me down and started to explain what actual business is, like entrepreneurship. But I didn't know I wanted to do it yet. I just knew I had the idea, but I didn't know where to take it.
Now, how did you know it was time to start your business? Give me the rundown of what started Moss Creations, when happened, what was the change, shift in mindset? Give me the rundown.
Yes, sir. So now we're going to shift 2 years to the future. We're going to 2020. I came down to Florida to see Kahlil, me and my brother Kevin, my dad and stuff. And on the drive back up from Florida, we was probably about 4 to 5 hours into it, and we stopped to get gas. And an altercation occurred between my brother and my sister about them driving. Somebody didn't want to drive. They was arguing 10 minutes, and it got to a point where I was like, I'll drive. I'm tired of everybody arguing. So Kevin came up to me and was like, yo, bro, take this right here. And you had gave him some Seamoss, know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what is this? He was like, bro, just take it. And I know the first tablespoon I took, I wanted to regurgitate it because my body or my tongue wasn't used to the texture. Second one that I took, it was like, I don't know if everybody's seen the movie Limitless, but when he took the pill and everything clicked, it was something like that. Like my mental clarity got clear. I got more steps. I hopped back on the road. I was able to drive for another 3-4 hours. Like, hold on, it's something to the Seamoss, you know what I'm saying? And in the town, it wasn't as popular. So I was like, I have to figure out how can I now mix what my uncle taught me with the business, put it to what you showed Kevin, who showed me, which is Seamoss.
You told me, I think you said around 2020, around the area between 2020 and 22, I think it was when we first, when I gave you Moss or whatever. But in the midst of that time, between that time and the time you started your business, what happened within that 1 to 3 year time frame that really gave you a shift in mindset that said, I need to do this? And actually you started stepping into it. Give me that rundown.
Okay, so this is a emotional story for me, kind of a long one. But right after I found out about Seamoss, I ended up getting a relationship with this girl. She ended up getting pregnant and ended up having a stillborn, which was my son. And that just put me in a real dark spot for a long time. I would say about a year and a half, I was just in a negative mindset. I didn't understand. And then I ended up getting with somebody else, and that didn't work out. But in the midst of that, the day that me and that person broke up, it was like I surrendered. I was like, you know what, God, I'm done playing around with my life. I'm done with all of this. I've seen what you could do with the entrepreneurship of my uncle. I've seen what Seamoss could do on the healing side. I surrendered to whatever project you allow me to, but I want to change. And then from there, it's all been uphill.
The shifting and mindset. And again, I apologize for everything that happened with your baby. I went through a similar situation with my would have been second born at the time, but so it's very similar. So I understand when it comes to pain, because when you get enough pain, it inflicts listening, right? Sometimes a lot of people got to go through the fire in order to come out polished on the other side. So again, the fact that you did go through that, that's something most entrepreneurs do actually go through. Now, let's fast forward, of course, right? When you first decided to start the business, how did Black Empire and the CEO of Black Empire end up giving you a little bit more of a push and whatever it is from the structure, whatever that is? Kind of give me a rundown on that.
All right. So a little bit after the situation, I said, I had to sit down with God. I reached out to you about if you could help me get my credit fixed, but it was around tax time. So you was like, hold on, let me help you with your taxes. That I'll help you get my credit fixed. So a couple months fast forward, we're around March now. We reached out, he was like, join my group, my Black Empire, you know what I'm saying? I took a faith because I had to pay down payment, of course. and I was still in a poor mindset. I didn't see the investment that it would do, you know. But I trusted God. I was like, you know what, cuz, all right. I sent the bread, joined it, got my credit fixed, you know. I was able to apartment and car in the same month. And then uh, 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 I got a couple credit cards as well to the point where I felt comfortable to start Moss Boss Creations, you know. I was at a gym one day sitting there because I work DSP, that's working with disabled people, taking them in the community. And I'm like, okay, what can I name? What can I do with this Seamoss? You know, I'm just saying like, well, how can I go about it? So I went on Chat GPT. Everybody, and I suggested everybody. I mean, but some people should use it in the right way. You know, I started talking to him about what some different companies and things I could do with Seamoss. And he was like, since the summertime coming up, you should look into Seamoss smoothies. You know, so I started to do my due diligence. I started looking up to see if people around the area was doing it. Top companies who sell Seamoss, how was their approach to it, and things of that nature. And honestly, I just dove head first. I started with the deep. That's the first thing I got. I got the LLC, insurance, commissary kitchen, and even went and got two drinks lab tested and approved so that I get them in go. All within about a month and a half.
You mentioned when you first got with Black Empire University, you had got your credit fixed.
Yes,
you got
sir.
an apartment, you got a car, you got credit cards.
Yes,
How
sir.
important was that to your journey as becoming a business owner?
That was so important because once I got my car, you know, it was like I had a mindset shifted from that poor mindset into something different. You know what I'm saying? To okay, I can actually accomplish things. I can actually do things, you know. I don't have to feel like I can't go out and obtain anything that I want, you know. Now I had hope. So I was like, you know what? Let me start this company. But first, before I even launched Moss Boss, I went around Syracuse for a whole month, just passing out samples of different smoothie drinks, you know, seeing what the town thought about it. And then once I built proof of concept, I was like, oh yeah, it's time.
Let me ask you, where did that proof of concept? I just want to know.
Yes.
How did Black Empire help influence that proof of concept?
Yes. Black Empower showed me that you don't have to be scared of anything. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that you want to achieve, you can go out and do it. Plus the community that he's built on school, they support you along your journey. You don't have to ever feel like you're alone in the process. You know?
Okay. So now that you got your apartment, you got your car, you got the proof of concept, you got the business flowing, how does the one-on-one sessions with the CEO, right, Kahlil Young, how they help you out when it comes to just scaling?
This will get good. I know everybody see my nice smile, know what I'm saying? Me and Kahlil had a one-on-one sit down about 7 months ago, and I was telling him that I was struggling with my utilization. You know, it was starting to affect my credit score. And he was like, cuz, if you just do these 3 steps, you know, make sure that you maintain a certain amount on your utilization, your score is going to go back up. So I did that. And about my smile, my teeth was messed up. You know what I'm saying? They was really in a really bad shape, you know. So I found this company out in Turkey, and I was like, you know what? Let me take a leap of faith and see if I could get the process started. So I also, again, reached out to Kahlil, told him what I wanted to do. And he was like, all right, now that you did what you had to, it's time for you to go to the bank and leverage other people's money instead of leveraging your own dollar out of your pocket. And I started to understand what he said, what he meant by that, right? So I went to the bank and I was able to get approved for a loan that paid for the process of my teeth getting fixed and for my flights and stuff without me having to do it, which would have costed way more than I thought. You know what I'm saying? I got that less than 24 hours of me applying for the loan. You know what I'm saying? What would have took at least 4 years for me to make, I got less than 24 hours off of what my cousin taught me. But it's all about you at the end of the day. You got to be committed and follow the steps he tells you. You can't just sit on it all year because things change.
You started working 2 jobs.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes,
now
sir.
You're at a point where you're able to maintain. What's the difference between when you started to where you are right now? Give me the difference.
It's a plethora of differences, I would say. The biggest difference is responsibility because I left one of my jobs and it's starting to show me how to manage money a lot better. Not spend it on going out or going to the movies, actually spend it on investing so that I make that money back. Like it's working for me while I sleep type of ordeal. I've recently just partnered with Crunch Fitness, so I'll be able to have my products in there and me go in there. Just switch over to a commercial kitchen, which will build contracts. And then contracts are predictable income. You know, I won't have to worry about a set amount of time once I have those contracts in place. And then it's just uphill from there, you know.
So now, What's happened with the job, with the work life now? Tell me what happened with the work life.
A lot better mentally, physically, and spiritually. I feel like the company is gonna tell you when it's time. You shouldn't just walk away from your job or 9 to 5 whenever you feel like it, you know. Moss Boss literally forced me out. It was like, bro, I need your attention now. We're getting too many people. You got too many events coming up. Like, it's time, you know. But it's all a part of the process. Everything that I'm in right now and doing is a part of the process, you know.
Between getting your credit fixed, leveraging other people's money,
yes, sir,
getting a new whip, getting into a side of apartment, and the advice as far as like getting more clientele. What would be your advice for someone that's like, look, I want to start a business. Blackq Empire is here. I'm thinking about doing it, but you know what? I don't know. Kahlil. What would you say to that person?
I was to say that you have to trust yourself and trust God. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you could accomplish something, you have to go out and try. You got to take risk in life eventually, or you're just going to sit back and let other people do what you wanted to do. The biggest lesson I would say I've learned so far is patience. You know, I have to slow down with a lot of things and allow things to play out, you know. Faith is always going to be there because you know how God works. He works in mysterious ways. So it's his process. It's on his time. A lot of people will try to rush and skip processes, or when it's slow weeks, they feel like they should get another job or things like that. Like, no, you got to allow things to play out. You got to have that patience, you know, because at the end of the day, these conversations right now, 5, 10 years from now, we're going to look back on like, yo, we're either going to be happy about it, that we stayed committed, or we're going to be sad. Like, dang, bro, I wish I would have listened to Kahlil and Kahlil when they were talking, bro. Like, real spill.
The fact that you did it, it means everything. Faith is everything. Like you said, faith is in the forefront. When I first started anything business-wise, I did it on faith. I literally cold turkey quit the job before I even made $1. That was just me, of course. Now everyone has to do the same exact thing. But I understood the principles of making money. I understood the principles of getting attention. I understood the principles of making a sale. I understood the principles of marketing, getting people to look at you, attracting, right? And then of course I had credit come later on down the line. So you know, I'm glad I was able to help. Blackq Empire University was able to help you also, man. Anything else you want to say to the people before we hop off this, man?
I want to tell everybody who's in the Syracuse area or Syracuse, New York, to make sure y'all reach out. You know what I'm saying? Not even just for my company, but if y'all need support, if y'all need motivation, or just somebody to talk to mentally, just to clear your mind. The Moss Boss is here, you know, because what I got or what I'm building is deeper than just a company. It's a whole movement, a wellness movement, because health is wealth. You know what I'm saying?
Bingo. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.